Everyone is always talking about meta. Which gun is the meta? Which class setup is meta? What is going to be the new meta? And lately, it seems to change weekly. Every update, every new change to the game seems to bring a new meta to Warzone. So today's mission was a new one. Find a trusty and consistent weapon that doesn't require a meta in order to be good. Something that every operator can pick up and use well. Or something that is a trusty old favourite that a lot of us have used before. Today, we find that weapon. We find those weapons. And we find the best classes and loadouts for you with those weapons in. This was a clear objective. Everyone was covering the meta, the best setups, the most insane meta classes. And yeah, okay, some of them are good. But I want to bring you guys some trusty source of the best classes you can get without focusing on the meta. That's why today, you will see the best off-meta classes that nobody is talking about, but everyone should be. I've received some intel from HQ that lets us know some of the best class setups at the moment that nobody seems to be talking about because they're not considered the meta. Well, all these other operators are wrong, and this is why I'm going to be showing you guys some of the best weapons that you can use at the moment, along with the class setups and attachments that go with them, that are going to make them extremely good, versatile, low TTK, low recoil weapons, and you guys are going to enjoy these. Some of these are old favourites. Some of these are relatively new, old meta items that have been kicked to the curb after the latest updates, but actually, they shouldn't have been. In this video, I'm going to go over a few of these items for you guys so that you can stay on top of your form using whichever gun you feel like. If you want to use meta, you can. If you want to use some of these hidden gem, trusty off meta classes, you can. If you want to mix it up, go for it. We're going to cover everything here, but I'm going to make sure you guys are in the loop with all of the latest stuff. So the mission was simple. Find the best off-meta weapon. My first thought was to head back to the M4A1 from Modern Warfare. This thing's got literally a camo called the Old Faithful. It's the steady, old reigning champion of the Verdansk from Season 1. And we know this thing shreds. We know it's got laser accuracy, but how good is it in modern day Warzone? Well, it's safe to say this gun is absolutely insane. It shredded through people with laser pinpoint accuracy, laser recoil, very low TTK, actually not much more than any of the other what is considered meta items at the moment, which makes this gun crazy good. Here on screen for you guys now, I'm going to show you guys the class that I have been using with the M4, and this thing is insane, so check it out. Okay, so here we are. We have got the M4, the Old Faithful is the variant I'm using, and I find that to be very fitting for this weapon. We've gone with a trusty old setup on this bad boy. We've got the monolithic suppressor, the stock M16 Grenadier barrel, VLK 3x optic, Commando foregrip, 60 round mag, excellent at range, laser pinpoint accuracy, very good TTK. You're gonna like this thing. If you like the M13, it's like the same as that, but more damage and more accurate, so pretty good. If you like the AMAX, it's very similar feeling in terms of damage, but obviously far less recoil. It's good. Okay, the time to kill's not quite up there with the top guns, so if you're hitting the headshots with the AMAX, you're going to get a faster TTK, and probably the only other thing that's slightly faster at the moment is the FFAR rate, again for the headshot multiplier, but this thing is coming in at a hot runner-up, and for the majority of players who are not hitting headshots every single time, this is going to be a fantastic weapon to use. I've then paired this with the Modern Warfare MP5, which gets an honourable mention here because it is exceptionally good, obviously for those hip-fire kills. We've got the monolithic integral suppressor, we've got the 5mm laser, the F-Tac collapsible stock, the Merc foregrip, and the 45 round mag, making this class an absolute laser beam and one of the old traditional Warzone classes. My next thought was to go back to something which we've seen more recently in the meta, something which We've known to be a good weapon, but has seemed to have been forgotten about with the buffs to different weapons and changes when this has been left alone for the most part. They got a few nerfs back a while ago, but now since we've had all of the attachment updates with Season 3 Reloaded, this thing has become a bit of a beast, and people are sleeping on it. So we went back to the FFAR. This thing is one of the best sniper support weapons in the entirety of Warzone. It's got an extremely fast fire rate, very low recoil, very low TTK and very high accuracy. This thing absolutely beams still, without a sight, I might add as well, which makes this thing even better because it means you're not relying on a scope attachment to get kills with this gun, and it's got a crazy range on it as well. The attachments for this gun are on screen for you guys now. Here we have then the FFAR. The Trusty one is back. A lot of people have been sleeping on this since the recent update, saying that it's not as good as it used to be. Well, let's have a look. We've got the agency suppressor on here. Gives us obviously the vertical recoil, bullet velocity, effective damage range, all good stuff. You could go for the regular suppressor if you wanted to play more close up with this weapon. Obviously that gives you extra sprint to fire time, and it doesn't give you any reduction to the ADS speed, which is really nice. But because this is my sniper support build, agency suppressor for that extra range and bullet velocity. Reinforced heavy barrel then on there as well for range and bullet velocity, just to pair in with that barrel there. You've then also got a 50 round salvo fast mags on there. Obviously it does affect the ADS time a little bit, but not enough to warrant not using this. It's really, really good on the FFAR. Very, very quick reload, which is really nice. Paired with a field agent grip then to give that horizontal and vertical recoil control, and obviously the serpent wrap on the back there for the ADS time, which is really nice. Now if you do go ahead and pair this with the suppressor as opposed to the agency suppressor, you can actually take off the serpent wrap because you don't get any reduction to the ADS time, which then means you can put on something like the Raider stock, which is super, super nice. Gives you ADS fire and move speed, aim walking move speed, and sprint to fire time. So that's if you want it to be a more close range, more aggressive 0 to 40 meters max build. So up to you how you play it, but that is the one I would recommend. I've then paired this with a Car 98, monolithic suppressor, Singard custom 27.6, tac laser, sniper scope, FTAC combat. Really, really good sniper scope. Talked about this a couple of videos ago. Really worth running if you haven't done so already. Fantastic sniper class, the best one in my opinion in the entire of Warzone right now. I also wanted to come up with a trifecta approach to find you guys the third best off-meta item and weapon that nobody is talking about. Now for this one I considered several different weapons. We looked at the bullfrog. People are talking about it, but are people using it much? We looked at the LC-10, seems to be pretty meta at the moment. So I went back further. I looked back to some Modern Warfare weapons. I looked at the Bruin. Has the Bruin come back? No, not quite. Although if you do run for the Specialist off the bat and put on a Bruin class, this gun becomes exceedingly overpowered. So that's just a heads up for a future video that I'll be covering for you guys. But obviously, because Specialist is giving you weapon perks as well as regular perks, running the Modern Warfare weapon is absolutely insane. But I looked back further. I looked at the Modern Warfare MP5. Well, the hip fire on this is insane. It's got laser accuracy, but the TTK is a little slow. So I looked at its counterpart from Cold War, the Cold War MP5. And yes, this thing is an absolute beast. It shreds through armor, shreds through HP, laser accuracy, almost as good laser hipfire accuracy as the Modern Warfare MP5 with a laser sight, but this one isn't even rocking a laser sight. It is incredibly good. It's got a very, very fast TTK, very low recoil, very high damage, and an insane range for an SMG as well. But when you are in that up close, sort of 0 to 20, 0 to 30 meters, that's when you're going to see this bad boy shine. It absolutely treads through people, and this is the class you're going to want to rock with it. Here we have the Cold War MP5. We've got the new sound suppressor. This gives us obviously the suppression of the sound, but it also gives us additional ADS speed. It doesn't actually buff the ADS speed, but we don't get a reduction compared to the agency suppressor, which does affect negatively our ADS speed. We also then have bullet velocity on there, which is really, really nice, and we have extra sprint to fire speed, which is excellent on an SMG. We don't get the extra damage range or as much bullet velocity as we would get with the agency suppressor, but because this is going to be our close range weapon paired with something like the FFAR, the AMAX, the M4, this is going to be exceptional. Shreds very, very good. The targeting spotlight on there gives us that aim walking movement speed in general, and also gives us a ton of hidden strafe speed, which doesn't say in the specs there. but it makes it one of the fastest weapons in Cold War. Paired then with the Raider stock as well, which gives us ADS move speed, aim walking move speed, and sprint to fire speed, making this class a very, very quick class indeed. Bruiser grip on there for movement speed and hip fire accuracy, so you're going to be able to get around exceptionally fast with this weapon. Paired then with the Stanag 50 round mag, so we get slightly less ADS reduction, but we still get a ton of ammo in there, obviously, and obviously reload quickness is reduced, but you're not going to need to reload it that quickly because it's still decently fast, and you've obviously got a second weapon there. Now, I've paired this with the FFAR, you can pair it with the RAM, but I'm going to give you guys the FFAR build just as a quick bonus here as well. With this one, obviously, it's a long-range build. Now, it's been moved into the AR category on the May 27th update, so you've got the GRU suppressor on there, gives us, obviously, that vertical recoil control, bullet velocity, and effective damage range. Liberated barrel for extra bullet velocity. Susat multi-zoom for the lowest visual recoil in the game, and the ability to switch between 2 and 4 times. Insane scope. If you've been sleeping on it, try it out. Spetnaz speed grab there, which just gives us that sprinting move speed and also the horizontal recoil control. Really nice. And obviously the Spetnaz 60 round mag. A little bit of ADS reduction again, but not a whole lot compared to the other fast mags that you can use. And obviously we get 60 ammo in there, so it's an exceptionally good class. Hopefully these classes have helped you guys find some off-meta weapons that you want to use in Warzone and some class setups to go along with them and the attachments as well, so you guys can change it up a little bit. A lot of people are focusing on the same weapons at the moment, so hopefully after seeing this you know that there is a few more alternative options. Have got a couple of videos in the works coming up which are going to be some more off-meta classes if you like. Going to take a look at the world record breaking classes as well, see what those guys are rocking with, and just have a little breakdown of what some of the other best weapons in Warzone are. So if you've got any suggestions of some insane weapons you're using that nobody's talking about, drop them in the comments. I'll try them out and let people know on the YouTube channel here if they are any good or not. Other than that, if you are new to the channel, make sure you have dropped a subscribe down below. We upload every single day, so make sure you've got those notification bells on so you don't miss a single upload from the channel. And help me reach 2k subs. I'd really appreciate it. It'd be insane to reach that milestone, and I'd really appreciate all the support. Also, if you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you do drop a like on it down below, as it really helps me out and it'd be much appreciated. And other than that, thank you very much for watching. As always, take care and peace.